What is going on today, guys? Welcome back to Upscale Diecast, and on your screen is a 1/12 scale model of the Yamaha YZF R6 made by Welly. And it's their latest addition to their 1/12 scale motorcycle lineup, and in this video I'm going to walk you guys through it, as well as giving you guys an in-depth review of this model. This wouldn't be an upscale diecast video without some cinematic shots, so here you go. Alright, I'm going to start this review off by taking a look at the front of the model, where you can immediately see the R6's iconic smiley face front air intake, which is supposed to mimic the one on the Yamaha YZR-M1, which is Yamaha's MotoGP racing bike, which I think is a really cool design feature, and it's flanked on either side by these really slim LED daytime running lights. However, the shape of the DRLs themselves aren't entirely accurate. I'll pull up a picture on the screen for you to compare it here. So, as you can tell, the ones on the rear R6 has sort of like a curve to it, whereas the ones on the model does not. Another cool design feature of the R6 are the headlights, which have been cleverly hidden behind the front fairings, so they're only visible when viewed from the front. And as we drop down, we're gonna have our contrasting white front fender that says Yamaha on it. The brake calipers are reasonably detailed, however, Welly seems to have cut a few corners here, as the pistons for the brake calipers should be colored in silver, and the inner part of the brake discs should be black. The same can't be said, though, about the wheels and tires of this model, as they're quite good. As you can tell, we have color matching 5-spoke wheels, both at the front and the rear, obviously, and the tires are extremely realistic. They're made out of rubber, and the tire treads are really slim and much more realistic than what you get on something like a maisto or bburago. Look behind the front wheel and you'll discover the radiator as well as the silver exhaust headers. As this being a sport bike, it features fairings that covers up almost the entire engine. The iconic R6 logo is printed on either side. Look closely and you'll see the metallic sparkles in the paint, which really enhances the overall realism of this model. And behind those fairings is a 699cc inline-4 engine that produces 117 horsepower. At first sight, the engine might appear to be a little bit under-detailed, but when you take a look at it closely, you'll find that every single detail is present. Then again, this is a sport bike after all, so most of the engine is not visible anyway. Moving on to the cockpit area of the bike, you can see it has that analog refdometer. Fun fact, the dashboard for this generation of the R6 was actually taken from the previous generation of the R1. As you can see on the left side of the dash, we have a fairly detailed analog refdometer. And it's a shame that Welly didn't decide to do the same thing for the speedometer on the right side. In addition, we also have a gear shift indicator that indicates when it's time for you to upshift by flickering. The handlebars are about what you would expect. Of course, no working levers or anything like that. The gas tank is the only component on this model that is made of plastic. I believe it's some sort of like a zinc alloy. It's completely cold to the touch, so that's how you can tell it's made of metal. Once again, the paint job on the gas tank is flawless. Looks very, very nice. And the Yamaha logo on either side of the gas tank are also nicely done. As you can see, they are really detailed, sharp, and crisp. Moving on to the rear of the model, you can see that Welly's done an exceptional job at replicating both the rear sprocket and the chains. As you can tell, both are highly detailed and realistic. On the other side, we're gonna have our stock exhaust and the rear brake disc. My favorite angle of the R6 is undoubtedly the rear end. I especially love these flying buttresses, which not only look cool, but are also functional. Their job is to channel the air around the rider and through the tail of the bike, which makes it more aerodynamic. And finally, you're gonna have your rear fender that has a license plate that says R6 on it and a pair of indicators. And feature-wise, this model has a working rear suspension, rolling wheels. Obviously, you can't have a model without rolling wheels, and steering. So there you go, that's my review of Welly's 1/12 scale Yamaha R6. Overall, this is a really well constructed and solid model in general. And personally, I think it is absolutely worth the $15 price tag. Therefore, I highly recommend it as it would make a really nice addition to your collection, especially if you're an R6 fan like me. That's it for me today. You've been watching Upscale Diecast, and I'll catch you on the next one.